Hello and welcome to another edition of Between the Horns with your host, Mr. Aaron Horn. Thank you so much for joining me today, watching this video. It's a beautiful day out, cold, windy. I guess you can probably hear that. I came out here. It's kind of means a little bit to me. It's a cemetery here, here in town where I live at. Behind that, you can see the mountains out towards Cuddy. That is Cuddy, all that over there. But the cemetery, I picked this spot in particular because I want it to be back there as a symbol, as I talk. Kind of a place where maybe as you watch this and you're looking back, you're looking, you see behind me, you see it, you see the mountains. I want to talk about another subject today that's not an easy subject to talk about. One of the reasons that, well, first let's cover this. What I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the difference of not wanting to live and wanting to die. Right up front, I'll tell you, I don't know for sure where that difference lies. I certainly don't know where it lies for others. Me, myself, I can kind of I kind of know where this is. Okay, I kind of know where there's a line for me between not wanting to live and wanting to die. And you may say they're the same thing, but hear me out. Just hear me out. I got something. I'm throwing it out there. Okay. I brought with me today some index cards and something to write on them with. I hope you guys can see these. I'll show you here kind of what I'm thinking, but so I'm going to put not, or let's see, let's go with wanting to die. Wow, Aaron, that's a hard subject. You're right, it is. How well you're going to be able to read these, I'll work on this. I may need to get some bigger cards or something. But good. Here we go. Okay. Wanting to die, then not wanting to live. Oh, come on, Aaron. I'm glad you guys can join me on this little, whatever it's called. Let me get this on here. Not wanting good Lord. Not wanting to live. Okay. Bang. Now, I didn't plan for the wind, I guess, very well, but here we are. All right. For now, I'm done with the index cards. Put them back in this handy dandy little pocket I got here. All right. So not wanting to live and wanting to die. Wanting to die, not wanting to live. Okay, right now my plan is, I don't know how well this is going to work. My plan is to do a little number like this. I don't know if it's going to work. For now it will. Let's see, maybe, where can I put this one? Well, I'll have to work on this. I'll get me some magnets and whatnot to maybe help prop these up. But for now, this is what we got. Okay, this is what we got. I'll work on that. I don't do editing, so what I mean by we'll work on that is the next time I do this, I'll work on having something that works a little bit better. Maybe something clips I can put to here. But for now, you see the two cards, okay? Maybe I don't even need to put them down, but here they are. So what I'm trying to get to here, okay? Wanting to die. Okay, for now we're going to say suicide. Okay, suicide, wanting to die. I want to take my own life by whatever means necessary to stop the chaos that I don't feel like is ever going to change. Suicide. Okay, there we have it. Okay, and then on this one, not wanting to live, I'm just going to put giving up. All right, so thank you for bearing with me here on this. This is the one I talked about on the last video I made, right? Not wanting to die, not suicide. Boom. Okay, over with. This is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about this idea that not wanting to live and giving up. Suicide gets a bit of press, rightfully so. Not taking anything away from it. And it is what it is, okay? It's suicide. It's not wanting to live. It's having ideas, ways, means, lethality of ending your life, okay? It's brutal. It's horrific. Whatever other big words you could use there. Painful. Anybody that's ever gone through it, lost someone, my heart goes out to you. It really does. I've never known a situation where it was easy. And that I want to give that credence. In the last video I talked about my own experience with suicide, and it's definitely worth giving. But a lot of times what we don't talk about is this other type of suicide. Means lethality. Plan. It's long term. Okay, what I mean by that is, I'm going to give you an example. Now, this is a combined story of a lot of people I've known in my life. Okay, I'm making this up. This isn't one person. This is a lot of people's stories put into one. John, not a real character. I've known a few Johns, but this isn't John. The John I know. John, he's 58, and John, he came from a fairly abusive home. It was kept under tabs though, and not a lot of people knew about John's story, how bad it was at home. Things looked pretty good on the outside when he was a kid, and there was a lot that went on in the home, and he saw a lot of abuse and verbal and physical. There was even a sexual abuse situation in his life that really took a toll on him, very large toll. John, he never did do really well in school. He liked to go out and tinker with stuff and work around the place. And he was pretty sharp. He could build about anything by the time he was, let's say, 11 or 12, I'm guessing, from the stories he's told me. But John, he got to high school and he fought a lot. He got in some trouble with the law. Had a lot of medical problems growing up, and when he was early teen years, he dabbled in some marijuana, and it actually helped him with he had some respiratory problems as a child that really helped him with those. But man, it was bad. It was bad for John. His teenage years, and then mom and dad, they fought a lot. More dad when he was drunk. So by the time he got, into his adult years, he just wasn't really prepared for life. And life threw him all kinds of curves, a couple different marriages, 2 or 3, I think, and a few kids here and there. Some were his, and some he helped raise, and one committed suicide when they were young, and just all the things that John went through in his life. And he got, by the time he was in his, let's say, 40s, I'm guessing. It'd have been in his 40s. John started getting into some drugs and things he shouldn't, but it was keeping him going. It was a fight. He was fighting for his life in a lot of ways, and definitely fighting for his life here, because that's when the thoughts had really sunk in his 40s. He said that life wasn't worth living, and but he knew that's the thing. Like me, John's story is that his faith, the way he was raised, his spiritual upbringing said that committing suicide was the cardinal sin, the ultimate of, and so that's just like my story. And so he never did ever attempt, but he lived those thoughts all of his life of just not wanting to be here, not wanting to participate in life. And now John's into his 50s and towards 60, and life's been hard for the man, and got more failures. To him, they're failures. More failures than he does successes. And life's beat the hell out of the old man. And it's getting to know my own situation more, getting more familiar with where I was at. I see similarities with John. Not all the stories, not all the experiences. Yeah, there was similarities in those. They beat the living daylights out of him. They beat the living daylights out of me. But the thing is that John's was never acutely he was going to kill himself. It was, he's just given up. He doesn't want to live. And you got these two different places, it's like, do we not see these as two different places? Wanting to die, acutely wanting to die in the moment, or planning unto. Lethality means you got the way to do it. It's a good way. It's lethal enough. It'll work. You got a plan, those kind of things. Okay, here, this is dangerous. The word dangerous doesn't work. Okay, it's not big enough. This is a tragedy beyond tragedies, okay? But then there's this one, we don't talk about it enough. And I want to talk about it. Not wanting to live and just giving up slowly over time. It's a slow quit. You could say it's a slow slide. The sooner death can come. I've heard this category here. I not only lived this, but I've heard it over and over from people. I just wished I kind of wish I didn't wake up in the morning. I go to bed every night hoping I don't have to wake up. I don't want to go to sleep at night because I know I have to wake up and be alive tomorrow. These are all things I hear here. This is dangerous. This is tragic. Right? It is. 100%. Not take anything away from it. It is. And over here we have this one. It's tragic. My dad did this. My dad was 300 and some odd pounds when he passed away. 6 foot. Diabetes. Heart condition. He told me it was within the last 3 years of his life. He told me, I'm just going to go in my trailer. He lived in a little single wide trailer in a trailer court. I'm just going to go in my trailer and die. And he did. He did. On the floor in the hallway. He died. He literally did this. Didn't care about his health. Didn't advocate for himself. Like, I guess he did. I don't know. I know he worked on his diabetes. But at the same time, he let himself go. He just slowly gave up. This is another form of letting the shame within our life drag us down and keep us in this spot over a long period of time. Now this is where this one comes in, okay? Because during this, sometimes, not always, in case of my friend John, he's never actively thought about killing himself, had a plan or anything, okay? Now you got this, not wanting to live, giving up, and along through here, this one comes in. Maybe it's for a little while, maybe it's for a few months. Maybe it's a few times, maybe a year. Maybe it's all the time. Maybe these two ride together all the time. You acutely want to die, and you don't want to live. They sound so similar, right? I guess ask yourself, Aaron, are you giving up? Are you in that place where you just don't want to live, but you can't kill yourself either? That's a big word there. Can't. Won't. And I agree, you shouldn't. But I want to really, nothing else, I really want to speak to this idea that both are dangerous. Both are tragic. Anybody who's ever saw someone just give up in life and just die over a long period of time, that is a tragic, horrific, I mean, to say, what else? What else I need to throw in there? It's a terrible thing. It hurts. It hurts the people around you. I know, I've heard them. I've hurt people. It hurts the people around you when you give up. And see, I'm speaking again from experience because I am in this category. Both of these exist with me. Not wanting to live and wanting to get, or not wanting to live and wanting to die actively throughout my whole life. So I'm familiar with both of these places. I can tell you story after story of giving up. Not even caring if you throw the garbage out until it's this high, and sometimes you don't care then because who says you're going to be alive tomorrow to care about it? That's one story. How about finances? Bill comes, you don't have the money for it. Yeah. Who knows if I'll be here anyway to worry about it. They'll catch me when they catch me. Or, they'll get it out of me after I die. Get blood out of a turnip, I guess. It's like, it's a tragic, horrific. I mean, it rips you into shreds. I mean, it just down. You talk about digging a hole. You're just digging yourself deeper, because it feeds on itself. Giving up is just over and over again. It's letting yourself down. It's not being who you really are. And it is a very, very dark place. And I want to reach out today to anybody who's dealing with this. Anybody who's either dealing with it firsthand, people who deal with it within their family, other people, their friends, seeing people who you wish they'd give a damn and get up and go do something and care enough to stay alive, and because you want to share it with them in other parts of your life. This is me talking. This is my life, okay? I want to offer that. I want to offer hope to you all. It can get better. Okay, you can get to where these two things aren't the driving force. You can get to a place where not wanting to live and wanting to die. Yeah, you still think about them. They're still there. But I have hope now. I have a future. I lost my headphones, but I didn't have them. I have hope. I have a future. I have enthusiasm because now I don't, again, it's still there. I still know it exists. I still know that was the option back then for 50 years or 42 years of my life. From 8 to 50. So, I know that. But I got to say that there's a difference. I'm coming out of that. I don't want to end up there. I want to go up there. I want to be on those mountains for another 50 years. My heart yearns. Every fiber in me to get to those mountains. Those mountains. Those mountains. That little hill over there. Don't want to end up on that hill. That's why I'm out here doing this. Because for me, first, this is how I get through it. This is how I talk it out. This is how I process through it. It's to come out here and say, don't end up there. Let's go up there. Let's go over there. Let's drive until we got to turn around and come home. But let's not end up there, okay? Whether it's actively wanting to die or whether just not wanting to live. Don't end up there. You will eventually someday. We all will. not because you didn't want to live. It's different. I want to live now. These two, they're still here. They still exist, okay? I don't know that they ever go away. But now, I have hope. Now, I have enthusiasm. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Between the Horns with your host, Mr. Aaron Horn. I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a blessed week, and I will see you again.